searching for someone who understands the pain you've been through. With a Father waits with open arms. He's calling out your name. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in, come on in. You'll find a place of rest and illumination as God within you helps you to light the way. He knows the peace you need and the hurt you're feeling. He wants to hold you and to wipe your tears away. Well, the doors unlocked, the lights are on. What are you waiting for? Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in. Fill this room with love, fill this home of love for someone just like you. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in, come on in. Thank you. Good morning. Lisa, you're
Hey,
on.
Michael. Good morning. Hi, everyone. Happy Memorial Day weekend. I hope everyone's having fun and enjoying themselves, and also remembering to take those moments to honor as well. And thank you to everyone at home or wherever you're watching. Hopefully the beach. Have fun for all of us there as well. Are there any new visitors here this morning for the first time joining us? Hi, good morning. We're so happy that you all are here with us today. Julia will be bringing you a flower, and after the service, if you go see David at the back table, we have a gift for you. We really are happy that you're here, and we hope that you enjoy your time with us today. Your announcements, you can get them from the Sunday Bulletin, our email newsletter, Facebook, website. There's lots of ways for you to check in, see what we're doing, and then check in on social media as well. Let everyone know, hey, I'm here, and have fun. And if you'd been here, you would have gotten a cool pin. These are great. Thank you to whoever brought these to us today. And silence your cell phones, please. Oh, thank you. We don't want those going off during service. So again, we're celebrating, and we should celebrate every day. But you know, a big thank you to everyone who was here last week. Nancy, we had so much fun celebrating you. It was a wonderful day. And congratulations again, and thank you for letting us all be here for you. So it was wonderful, and I'm glad we were all here and able to celebrate. So, and all of the pictures, thank you to everyone, the party planners, decorators, everybody who just made this such a success. It was a beautiful day. Okay, Earth Care Team. Yay, May 29th from 6 to 7. It's going to be live streamed here in the sanctuary. It's this Wednesday. Wow, it's already the end of May, y'all. That's so crazy. Recycle, resource recovery. We have a plastics expert that will be talking about what you can do to help the earth. It'll be a good time. So tune in if you can't make it here in person. All right, Soul Sisters Show and Sell Craft Fair. This is next Sunday, June 2nd. It'll be before and after the service. Make sure to come, even if you don't make anything. Just come support. It'll be awesome. And we're celebrating this week's birthdays as well. Anybody have a birthday this week other than the ones I'm about to announce? See, I did it again. All right. Last week, Angela, Vivian's daughter, was on May 22nd. Bruce McGregor was May 23rd. This week, we have Maddie Kranz on the 27th, Browen Benson on the 27th as well, and Gail Gibson on the 31st. Is there anybody else celebrating a birthday that I did not mention? No? Okay. Michael, can we sing them happy birthday?
Sure. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, God loves you. Happy birthday to you.
All right, come to Fellowship Hall afterwards and have a piece of cake with us, and have a wonderful service and a beautiful day, y'all.
Thank you.
Oh, you can do better than that for Lisa. We need to encourage these people that work hard for us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How grateful I am still today. I swear. I think I cried most of the week, just so you know. We had 157 people here last Sunday. And I'd point out we only have 135 seats. We added a couple of rows. We did our best, but I would just like everyone who had a hand in my celebration party to stand up. Thank you. I just want to say thank you. I've read every card, every note. I'm behind on starting thank you notes, but I'll get on that. But I just want to say how meaningful everything everyone said to me was. Even in the line as people walked out, just so many meaningful messages. And to have you with me last Sunday was just awesome. Whether you were online, in spirit, or here in the sanctuary, it was awesome. And before I go too far, a couple of things I just want to say because they're important. One, Karen, thank you for always bringing birthday cakes every month. You and Jerry are awesome to make that donation. Thank you. It is truly my favorite day of the month because I like cake. So thank you for that. And Donna, where's Donna? Donna? Oh, there she is. So thank you to Donna who stepped in for Bronwyn today. She is a Reiki healer herself. She's a nurse. She's a massage therapist. And she stepped up to help us today with Bronwyn out. And so thank you. She made it possible for me to stand here today. All right. And then I also want to say good morning to our online audience. Our map is awesome. And we keep growing. I'm waiting. We've got to find a way. Did we do Wisconsin up there? Okay, so we need to get those northern states. I've got to work on that. I feel like we need to do a better job there. Yeah, the McGregors are in Michigan. We marked them. Oh, yeah, how do they get there? Well, they don't go to Montana. They can go the long way. I also want to say one of our guests here today, Joy, she should get an award because she has actually been here 5 times this week at the church. I don't think I was here 5 times. So I think we need to give her an incredible gratitude. She attended everything on the calendar this week. I think you get an award. And special thanks to Michael, who's filling in dual roles today with Elliot stepping away for a day, which is good for him. But Michael stepped up, and we're very grateful to him. Alvon, Christian, our sound team, Greg and David, and also our wonderful greeters, Michael and Jeffrey B. are both out there today, so thank you to them. Yes, thank you. You know, we're talking about selflessness today and selfless acts. And last Sunday was an example of selflessness, all the way from the beginning of the day to the end. And not that you need to know this, but I think it's important for you to hear, is that not one dime of last Sunday came from this church's tithings. It was all donated. And that is an incredible thing because that's the selflessness, the work, the hard work, the laboring out there, planting flowers, decorating, in here, supporting all the people. Everything that went on was selfless. And because Memorial Weekend is about selfless sacrifices, I just think it's a perfect time for us to talk about it. And on a much sadder note, we lost one of our congregants who made their transition. Kathy Easley made her transition on the 16th, and we didn't know anything. There wasn't any indication that something was happening. We just got the news, and interestingly, I looked up yesterday when Kathy started with us, and she started on the 15th of May in 2022. So she was with us for 2 years and 1 day. And I thought that was super meaningful, that to know that she spent 2 years of her life with us. She was a very active congregant, a very wonderful lady, and was one of the soul sisters here, and she will be dearly missed. I will especially miss her because she was such a kind person. And with that said, let's just take a moment, if we can, close your eyes and take a deep breath. And I want you to hold Kathy's picture and thoughts in your mind and send peace and love to her family and gratitude for her life and being a part of ours. Thank you. All right, let's join together and sing our unity affirmation. There is only one power and one presence in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And by the way, if you didn't get to see my beautiful gifts from this congregation, I'm wearing them today for the 7th time this week. Thank you. All right, our daily word today is memorial. It says, pardon? Oh, well, why isn't it tomorrow, memorial? All right, comfort. Tomorrow's Memorial Day. Well, I kind of like what it says, since, can I read tomorrow's? I want to read tomorrow's because it actually matches what I'm talking about today. It says, I pray and bless my loved ones and the world. Today, I honor the legacy, courage, and memory of those who have given their lives in service. I prayerfully express my gratitude and heartfelt appreciation for their selfless dedication. I also remember my loved ones who have transitioned and embrace them in the radiant light of love. I remember how they enriched my life, and I feel grateful as I remember the ways they blessed me with their presence. In memory of all whom I honor today, I commit to being a presence of peace in all situations. I hold a vision of a world at peace, with the understanding that we are all part of the human family and one with God. I forgive easily and seek harmony by extending loving kindness and compassion to all. And from John 15, verse 13, no one has greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. Oh, thank you for the reminder. I forgot to make note of that. Thank you. So, do you have a picture? Okay, so we both forgot. All right, on your way in and on your way out, if you didn't notice them on your way in, there are 2 brand new benches outside the sanctuary, and they were built by Louise and Mark Prendergast. And here's the coolest thing about them. The top of them are beams, part of the beams from Unity of Tampa at our old location.
How cool.
So Mark had gotten those beams and stored them, and those guys built our benches from them. So it's a way of us bringing the past with us, and a way of honoring all of you who sometimes need to have a seat out there. while you're waiting for someone else in here. So thank you guys. And Louise, thank you. I don't see Mark, but thank you. I appreciate you doing that. They're beautiful, very beautiful. All right. I'm leaving it to you.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Love is my source, love is my power, love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Peace is my source, peace is my power, peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, peace gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
Our last time singing that, I think. Next week we start a new one. And you have to learn another song. All right, this is awesome. I have 2 stories to tell you. Wait till you connect the dots. It's such an awesome story. Thank you, Kathy Johnson, for finding these. They're perfect for today. So, story number 1. There was a time when Al Capone virtually owned Chicago. He wasn't known for anything heroic. He was a notorious mob boss, known for enmeshing the city in everything from bootlegging to murder. Capone's lawyer was nicknamed Easy Eddie and kept Big Al out of jail for a long time. Eddie was paid very well and lived the high life of the Chicago mob, giving little consideration to the atrocity that went on around him. Eddie had a son that he loved dearly and saw to it that he had the very best of everything. Yet with all his wealth and influence, there were 2 things he could not pass on to his son: a good name and a good example. Eddie eventually reached the difficult decision to testify against the mob and Al Capone to clean up his name and offer his son some semblance of integrity. Within a year, Eddie's life ended in a blaze of gunfire, but he knew he had given his son the greatest gift he had to offer. Story number 2. World War II produced many heroes, and Lieutenant Butch O'Hare, a fighter pilot, was one such hero. On February 20th, 1942, while O'Hare was on a mission in the South Pacific, he was on his way back to his ship to refuel when he saw a squadron of Japanese aircraft speeding their way toward the American fleet. Realizing that he couldn't reach his squadron in time to bring them back, nor could he warn them of the impending danger, he knew he must somehow divert the Japanese planes. He flew his plane directly into them, guns blazing, clipping wings, with his own aircraft until they finally took off in another direction. The film from the gun camera mounted on his plane told the story. It showed the extent of Butch's daring attempt to protect his fleet. He had in fact destroyed 5 enemy aircraft. For that action, O'Hare became the Navy's first ace of World War II. And for those of you who may not know that term, it is a military aviator who has shot down 5 or more enemy aircraft in aerial combat. So he received the Navy's first award and was the first naval aviator to win the Congressional Medal of Honor. A year later, he was killed in aerial combat at the age of 29. His hometown would not allow the memory of this World War II hero to fade, and today O'Hare Airport in Chicago is named in his honor, and a memorial displaying his Medal of Honor is located there. So what do these two stories have to do with each other? Lieutenant Commander Butch O'Hare was Easy Eddie's son. Isn't that cool? So what I loved about this story was Dad had made this sacrifice to put himself in court and go through that, thinking that would be the way his son received the honor he deserved. And then his son went on to do something even more amazing in the name of freedom. And he ended up sacrificing his life for our country. So it was really beautiful. All right, with that said, and before I start the meditation song, I would just like to ask all of our heroes who have given their time and service to stand. Jeffrey B., come in. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for fighting for our freedom. And thank you for still being with us today. And Jeffrey Beach, that includes you. All right, Michael, let's get ready.
I am at peace, I am at peace, I am one with the Spirit. I am calm, I am still, I am doing God's will. I am at peace, I am at peace, I am one with the Spirit, and I dwell in the presence of the Lord. I am loved, I am loved, I am one with the Spirit. I am calm, I am still, I am doing God's will. I am one, I am loved, I am one with the Spirit, and I dwell in the presence of the Lord. I am home, I am home, I am one with the Spirit. I am calm, I am still, I am doing God's will. I am home, I am home, I am one with the Spirit, and I dwell in the presence of the Lord. And I dwell in the presence of the Lord.
So holding on to those words we just heard, dwelling in the presence of God, recognizing that we are a spirit in motion on this human journey. And I just invite you now to take a few deep breaths as you start to calm your heart and your mind. Let all the things that you walked in the door with just be put aside. Expressing gratitude for your life and listening to the words I'm going to share. Taking in what is right for you as you breathe in this day. During this Memorial holiday weekend, I honor the selfless acts of those who have played a role in my life and those who have made those sacrifices in service to our country in the name of freedom. Thanks to each person who gave of themselves selflessly, I am free to make choices every day in the thoughts I choose, the actions I take, where I decide to live, and how I decide to live. As I reflect upon their sacrifices, I express gratitude for them and for their loved ones who were selfless in allowing them to serve and selfless in supporting them, those who returned. I become mindful of how even the smallest acts of selflessness can help me to grow myself and improve the world. When I'm patient, when I'm kind and caring, and when I place the needs of others before my own, I am practicing the selflessness of creating a society that works for more than me. In every situation, I become mindful of the importance of thinking about the bigger picture in my daily decisions, in the words I choose, and in my service to others. I call forth the divine wisdom within to help me learn to act from that place of divinity and from seeing myself as part of this amazing universe. Like the selfless acts of those who have served and sacrificed, I am ready, willing, and able to make courageous and mindful choices as I move forward in my own life, remembering at all times to help uplift others and serve where I'm asked, and to be thankful for the freedom with which I have been blessed. I pause now to rest in the silence, taking in what is mine for this day. I remember everyone who left this earthly life in service to others. I remember to say thank you to those who served and still deserve the gratitude for their efforts. And I remember to be selfless in my actions, not making myself the most important thing in the day, but instead remembering to serve with an open heart and to learn the importance of sacrifice. And so as I come back to this moment in time, I allow myself to listen to the sounds that many will hear today. Thank you, Christian. Have you ever wondered what it takes to be brave enough to go and serve for your country and sacrifice for the greater good? Is there something we can learn from that and understand about that that would make us better humans? You know, men and women willingly face threatening challenges in the line of duty every day when they sign up for the military, even in peaceful places. Our medical professionals who fly all over the country, not just in this daily life, but many go and serve when there's a need, whether that is a tornado or a crisis, a war. They serve, and they serve with sacrifice and selflessly. Our law enforcement officers, our first responders, they face the unknown every single day. And there are countless stories of people who have been brave, and all of them force us to stop and wonder, what does it take to have that kind of courage? One of my favorite stories to share is, and it seems very fitting for this day, is a story of 4 chaplains who met at the Army Chaplain School at Harvard University. Their backgrounds and their faiths were all different, but life brought them together for a purpose. Their names: George Fox, he was a Methodist minister. Alexander Goody was a rabbi with a PhD. John Washington, a Catholic priest. And Clark Poling, a reverend of the Reformed Church of America. In February 1943, all 4 men were aboard the Dorchester, a renovated luxury liner used to transport troops. There were 902 military personnel on board the ship that was traveling through treacherous waters from Newfoundland to Greenland. A Nazi U-boat began to follow them and launched a torpedo at the ship. Everyone had to abandon the ship. The 4 chaplains immediately began serving the wounded, handing out life jackets to get people to safety, provided spiritual counseling to those who could not get off the boat. And as the Dorchester slowly disappeared beneath the Atlantic, the 4 chaplains were seen linked arm in arm, praying aloud until the bitter end. These men are remembered for their selflessness and for making the ultimate sacrifice. And in 1961, almost 20 years later, Congress approved a unique award called the Special Medal for Heroism for all 4 because they were not eligible to receive a Medal of Honor for their bravery because while under enemy fire, because they helped after enemy fire. There are stamps honoring the men, as well as statues and chapels around the world dedicated to their memory. But the story, I feel, raises questions for us to think about what selflessness really means and why people do it, and whether we're doing it and whether we need to be doing more of it. So when I think about selflessness, I think most of us learned it by learning and understanding and being scolded for selfishness. As a kid, when you didn't share your toys, what were you told? Don't be selfish. If you went somewhere and you didn't want to give that last cracker to someone, what were you told? Don't be selfish. So most of us didn't really learn selflessness. We witnessed it, and we may have taken on it, but we learn selflessness through understanding how not to be selfish. The best explanation, I think, one of the best, comes from 1 Corinthians, verse 13, which says this: selflessness is loving other people. It is being patient and kind. It is not being envious of what other people have. It is not being rude to other people. Being impatient, rude, and envious are all signs of selfishness because they place you first. Selflessness is a willingness to put the needs and desires of others before our own. And if you were raised Christian, then you definitely learned about selflessness through Jesus' example. And we're taught that he is one of the most renowned people for his selflessness. And Pope Francis once shared a great explanation for us understanding this concept. He said, Jesus invites us to selfless generosity, to open the way for a much greater joy, that of being partakers of God's own love. And he shared a story of how Jesus was participating in a banquet at a home of one of the leaders of the Pharisees, and he observed guests running to get to top places. And Pope Francis referred to this as a widespread attitude in our society even today, and I couldn't agree with him more. He stated that we seek first place to affirm an alleged superiority over others, that this race to first place hurts the community, both civil and ecclesial, because it starts to ruin society. Society and communities, you see, are generally built on what is best for all, not what is best for one person or one attitude. And yet, think of all the examples in which society and communities are being placed at risk because we don't look at the big picture. Now, here's a common one in Florida, and it's not meant to be insulting or offensive. But if you're retired, you're probably more protective of your income. So you may not willingly vote, for example, for something that would expand education or teachers' money or whatever. Well, I understand that perspective. We all do. That's your way of protecting your funds. But in the long run, if we all look at the big picture, and I don't even know what's on the ballot, so this is not political for me, but if we don't look at how to build a better society, what will it look like when we're all gone? And I worry about that because we're already seeing a huge downtrend in what happened during COVID. The kids who were affected by COVID, who graduated shortly thereafter and missed a year or two of school, absolutely are not testing at the level that kids were testing at before. So we're going to eventually have to lower standards to raise the bar, which is not what we want to do. But that's one way for us to think about the broader picture of society. And another one, for example, look at all the battles there were over having to wear masks. Those were issues of you or me, not issues that thought about the whole society and how to heal the whole world. There were people becoming impatient and rude and upset over the fact that they were being forced to wear a mask. But how were we looking at the big picture of our world? Think about if healthcare workers, for example, had placed themselves first during COVID, what would have happened to all of our hospitals? We wouldn't have had any. They were willing to risk and sacrifice to go. And those who continued to go to work thought about how will the community survive if I don't. But the truth is, everything worth having in this lifetime requires sacrifice. Maybe not the ultimate sacrifice, but sacrifice. There isn't a relationship that can be built in the world when you are trying to fit someone else into your picture. Relationships are built on us understanding each other, opening our hearts, not judging other people because they don't act like us. A solid and loving relationship requires learning to make sacrifices that will propel the relationship, help each other grow, and all of us to learn to be in that happier place. It's not about whether someone fits your life. Parenting is another example of the ultimate sacrifice. It requires giving up everything to put a child's well-being first. And as we speak about selflessness, it's important to speak about compromise versus sacrifice. So think of compromise as a negotiation. We both want or need something, so we compromise on what works best. But sacrifice is different. It is a selfless act, which means the good of someone else becomes more important than the good of you. That is sacrifice. For example, maybe you made the decision to move across the country to help support your partner who wanted to take a different job. That's a selfless act. The Dalai Lama speaks a lot about selflessness because it is a primary teaching in Buddhism, and it is one of my very favorite. I learned this early on as an interfaith minister. Selflessness is the absence of an independent self. Take that statement in for a minute. It is being able to observe your life from an outsider's perspective and knowing that self is not visible. Could any of us say that? I want you to just think that through. In other words, we're all part of the same self at the purest spiritual level. And when we understand that, we begin to make choices and take actions, they say, that are for the good of all. And in doing that, we will raise the consciousness of our collective self in this world. So if we just take those two pieces, the absence of independent self, and understand that we're part of this bigger spiritual self, then we would think twice about some of the things we say and do. And we would be in that place of selflessness. Memorial Day is intended for us to acknowledge and honor those who lost their lives in service to their country because of their selflessness. But it's equally important that we acknowledge their families today and all the people who have stood by those who did make the sacrifice. As you go by all the graveyards today, there's going to be a sea of headstones with flags on them, thanks to a lot of volunteers. And it can be very emotionally overwhelming if you have anyone in those cemeteries. But it's such a reminder of the people who traded their lives for our freedom and the families' lives that change forever. But if we don't use this time to help ourselves grow, then it's nothing but a holiday where we remember. We need to learn the act of selflessness. We can use this time to reset our own lives in terms of how we do that. We can take time to evaluate how often we think of ourselves first and our own needs versus others. We can start our day, instead of thinking about what we want to do, who can we serve on this day? Each of us can make a difference in this world by our selfless acts, and we can seize the opportunity to remember who has already done that and be willing to live in more selfless ways. Let's review today's lessons. Selflessness, the ultimate sacrifice, requires us to, number one, give freely of ourselves without recognition or reward. Number two, to learn to openly embrace others and allow our hearts to expand. Number three, to advocate for the good of others, ensure that everyone will benefit. And number four, to let go of your independent self and experience spiritual greatness. The affirmation I wrote for today is, I am practicing selflessness. Let's say that together. I am practicing selflessness. And the quote is from Dean Koontz, and I think it's beautiful. The selfless love that we give to others to the point of being willing to sacrifice our lives for them is all the proof I need that human beings are not mere animals of self-interest. We carry within us a divine spark, and if we choose to recognize it, our lives have dignity, meaning, and hope. Let's take that in. So we pause now to reflect upon all the people who have sacrificed their lives and the gift of the lesson that we can take from this, to recognize that from our divine place within us, divine love, divine thought, divine act, we are selfless. And we can shape ourselves to continue that practice in light of the Christ consciousness in light of all the people who have exemplified selflessness for the good of our world. And so we join together in lifting the consciousness of our society by being the example. And so it is. Amen. I want to do a shout out to AJ today. I don't know, Mary, if AJ will see this, but I hope you'll tell him for me. But AJ had a 10-hour surgery a little over a week ago. He was supposed to be in the hospital for 3 weeks, and he went home 2 days ago. It's a miracle what he's gone through, and the attitude he has is amazing. And there were a lot of people praying for him, so I just want him to know it's a story that reminds us that the right attitude going into these things is very important. If you have a prayer need, please submit it. There's a card in the back of the seat in front of you, and our regular folks know there's also cards at the back by the prayer box. And let's join together in our giving affirmation. There are many ways you can give. I'm asked this all the time. How do we give here? If you don't know already, we have plenty of opportunities for you. You can use the QR code. You can use the old-fashioned box we have. You can go online. Whatever you want to do to support where you get spiritually fed, we're grateful. But we're more grateful that you practice prosperity thinking in your own life. Because if we teach you that, then we're doing the right thing here. So I want you to just think about this prosperity prayer as you say it and take it in. We have faith in God as our instant, constant, abundant supply and supplier. We have faith in God to open ways when to the human sense there is no way. We have faith in God to guide us in all our ways, and our health, happiness, and prosperity are assured. Thank you, God, for your abundant good, now flowing forth to meet our every need. And so it is. And we're going to call our children in. They're just coming around the bend. And then we have another beautiful song for you.
Feeling good, like I should. Went and took a walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got my sunshine on my Sunday best.
Good morning. Today, the Uniteens and the YOU talked about not worrying and about manifesting positives.
And we read Jesus' parable of the birds and the lilies and talked about not needing to worry because we have everything we need. And we wanted to bring our bubbles and blow bubbles for you now to release those worries when they pop, and couldn't find them this morning. So imagine all those popping bubbles. All right, let's bless these kids. And all the kids who couldn't be here this morning as well. We love you. We bless you. We truly appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. We love you, we love you, we really, really love you.
Today and every day, we're inspired by the bravery of our own beloved sons and daughters who served our country fearlessly. To all our fallen heroes, your legacy lives on forever in the memory and the hearts of our nation. This Memorial Day, let's pay tribute to the heroes who gave everything to our nation. Their courage and their sacrifice will always be remembered. May the spirit of Memorial Day remind us of the price of freedom and inspire us to live with gratitude and compassion. Grateful for the brave men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. Today, we remember and honor those selfless service. Remembering every hero who selflessly shed their patriot's blood for our freedom, may their sacrifices be a constant reminder of the cost of liberty. In honor of the brave souls who made this ultimate sacrifice for our freedom, may their courage inspire us to live with purpose and gratitude. We express gratitude for the bravery of the fallen American soldiers, wishing everyone a Memorial Day filled with reflection and appreciation for our heroes. Freedom isn't free. Today, we remember and thank those who died defending our liberty. Their courage echoes through time. Good job.
I just want to say thank you to Christian for really playing the caps too today. Thank you.
All right, let's take it on home. Everybody stand up. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And now let's join together in saying the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is great. God bless you. Thank you for being here today. Don't forget birthday cake.
Hey, Michael, so we'll do the head, you do a solo.